Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Hi, good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Greg Lloyd. My co-anchor and friend Amanda Peralta is off tonight. Thanks for watching WGXA News at 5:30. Now, a first-of-its-kind neighborhood is coming to Warner Robins, and every home being built there will be for rent. We first told you about it on WGXA News yesterday, and it has a lot of you talking on social media. So tonight, we're asking you, should rental costs be more regulated? Just scan this QR code here on your screen to vote now. Carlos Stevens joins us with a reaction to the new rental-only neighborhood on Dunbar Road. And Carlos, what are people telling you?
New rental homes are being built right here on Dunbar Road, costing between $1,800 to $2,000+. And I spoke to one Warner Robins resident who tells me he believes it's a way to deter young people from owning a home.
It doesn't make sense for us who are trying to step out, who are trying to get on our own 2 feet, to go out and just automatically start paying $1,800 worth of rent.
That's Travius Taylor's reaction after learning about the new rental-only community plan for Warner Robins. Parkland Communities has already started construction on the new homes. The neighborhood aims to cater to the housing needs of the growing city. Developers say Grove Landing will offer accessible single-family rental homes to the local market. The initial phase of the project calls for over 100 homes on 60-foot wide lots. It's a plan Taylor doesn't think is a good idea, saying he thinks there are several things to blame.
Government, inflation.
Inflation that Taylor says many cannot afford.
When you're renting a place, people want you to make 3 times the rent. Jobs are not paying 3 times the rent. The people in the leasing office aren't even making 3 times the rent.
Plans for the new community feature 2, 3, and 4-bedroom homes with square footage ranging from 985 for 2-bedroom units to 1,475 square feet for 4-bedroom homes. Inside, the home comes with granite countertops, vinyl plank flooring, 2-inch blinds, and appliances including a washer, dryer, refrigerator, microwave, and dishwasher. Many things Taylor says he already has and pays less for.
My rent is in the 900s, but at the same time, my utilities are included, and they do have a lawn care service that comes out and takes care of the whole apartment complex.
This story has many of you talking on our Facebook page. Sally Ann said there are some people that can afford it, and that's who they are catering to. Eric Lowe said build to rent is a fancy way of saying slow drop to the bottom. And Sydney Morton said too expensive for most people, even military families. The developers say there will also be a swimming pool, cabana, large playground, and parks. There's no timetable for completion. Reporting in Warner Robins, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News.
Okay, thanks, Carlos. Now let's check out what you're saying. Should rental costs be more regulated? 62% of you saying yes, the overwhelming majority. 38% say no. You can still take part in this interactive poll. Just scan the QR code on your screen. We'll keep this poll going all night and give you updated results. Well, property owners in Monroe County could be paying more in taxes if a proposed increase is approved. A millage rate increase of over $1 million is being proposed in response to declining property value due to Georgia's power plant Shearer. The closure of 2 units of it resulted in a revenue loss of more than $3 million in the previous fiscal year. The increased millage rate is projected to offset the $1.8 million gap between expenses and revenue for Monroe County schools. If passed, this means you'll pay $100 more a year for every $200,000 worth value of your home. Well, some of the best conversations they're had around the dinner table. And for one Macon group, it's talks around the table that's leading to progress in Middle Georgia. Our Brianna Cook brings us more on progress that's been years in the making. Brianna?
Greg, the Community Foundation of Central Georgia has been listening to community members for years now, asking what matters most to them. Today, we got to look at how those conversations have helped.
Issues matter most in Central Georgia. That's the question the Community Foundation of Central Georgia has asked for 4 years. Now as part of their On the Table program, they have conversations with Middle Georgians, collecting data about how they view where they live. 4 years later, the group is looking at new data to see where improvements have been made as the future is planned for our region. Catherine Dennis says the data is important for local governments to see.
Both Mayor Patrick in Warner Robins and Mayor Miller in Macon actually had their governments host tables, because this data that comes out informs them about what the citizens are doing, or what the citizens are concerned about in our community. And you heard today that crime and affordable housing and access to mental health care are probably the three.
For example, the data shows the top 3 issues that have declined being crime, poverty, and affordable housing. And a few things that citizens think will improve their community are workforce training, mental health resources, and healthy food access. Dennis emphasized the data can help solve the issues Middle Georgia faces.
We want the press to use it, we want foundations to use it, we want individuals and school districts and everyone to use this data and say, all right, what am I doing to move the needle on those issues?
Today, they announced over $24,000 in grants to 25 participants of the On Table Central Georgia. The grants were given to organizations with goals and programs to help the community. Lauren Avery was one of the 25 recipients for the grant. She is the Early Learning Resource Manager for the United Way of Central Georgia. She says they have a module to help Middle Georgia parents.
Our Basics Central Georgia initiative received a grant from the Community Foundation for our On the Table talk. The Basics is really 5 simple strategies that parents and families can do to start their children on a great path with brain development.
Avery says the grant will not only help their organization, but also the community.
We want to make sure that not only parents and families know about the basics and are doing the basics with their children, but we want to make sure that our partners, our community, is engaged with those principles to make better lives for Central Georgia's families and Central Georgia's children.
You can find out more information about the data on our website at WGXA.tv. Reporting live in studio, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
All right, thank you so much, Brianna. Tonight, a new effort on Capitol Hill to find out if tax-exempt charities are fully complying with IRS rules, with some now being accused of mass efforts to register Democratic voters. National correspondent Christine Frizzell brings us a closer look with the details of a new report.
With another presidential election on the horizon, a new effort to shine a spotlight on those casting the ballots is now underway. The House Ways and Means Committee announcing it will be investigating nonprofit groups to make sure they're following the law, in particular when it comes to voter registration.
We're going to look into whether they're abusing the IRS rules in order to get all kinds of money to target certain types of voters in certain demographics in swing states to make sure that they get those votes in.
In its new report, How Charities Secretly Help Win Elections, the conservative Capital Research Center alleges certain nonprofits are running well-designed voter registration campaigns because it's an effective tactic to score additional Democratic votes, even suggesting Joe Biden's victory in key states in 2020 may have been a result of this effort, though there's no definitive data to back this up.
The IRS is allowing essentially Democratic political activism to be labeled as nonprofit charitable work, which just is not fair or right.
The report calls out groups like the Voter Registration Project, commissioned by former Hillary Clinton campaign manager John Podesta, and Everybody Votes, which touts registering 5 million people, 76% of whom were people of color, 56% who were women. Everybody Votes did not respond to our request for comment, and there is no indication any laws were broken. The IRS clearly states on its website activities intended to encourage people to participate in the electoral process, such as voter registration and get out the vote drives, would not be prohibited political campaign activity if conducted in a nonpartisan manner. On Capitol Hill, we expect Republican lawmakers will look into whether those efforts were conducted in a partisan manner, with the potential to try to pass legislation ahead of the 2024 election. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
Well, it is the first regular season game of high school football in Middle Georgia. Howard versus Southwest at the Ed DeForest Sports Complex in Macon. Meteorologist Ryan Mirando is there live now with what has been a beautiful day for weather. And Ryan, after a long hot summer, we did get a little bit of relief today.
Yeah, I know, Greg. It's very seasonable today, which makes it feel just 10 times better from all the excessive heat that we've been dealing with. But the energy here for the football game is beginning to fire up. The buses have now pulled over, and I was standing actually over into the shade before my live shot, and actually it felt pretty comfortable. There's even a nice breeze out here, so for the football game, just grab the sunglasses. It should be a pretty spectacular night. This morning, though, was even a little bit below average. We got down to 65 degrees in Macon. That was the coldest start in over 2 months. The last time we hit that temperature was back on June 14th. Temperatures, though, have warmed up pretty seasonable. Currently 90 in Macon, 89 in Warner Robins, 89 in Roberta, currently 86 degrees in Monticello. So planning out tonight for the Friday night football game kickoff, 86 degrees, sunny skies, under completely clear skies. Temperatures will cool down into the low 70s. I'll talk about how the weather is for the games tomorrow, plus the heat up next week, all coming up in the full Skywatch weather forecast. Greg?
All right, thank you so much, Ryan. Well, investigations are underway after 3 separate shootings in Wilkinson County led the Wilkinson Sheriff's Office and Gordon Police Department to call in the GBI. Our Gloria Ruth Finney is live in Gordon tonight to tell us what she's learned about the shootings so far. Gloria Ruth?
Greg, those shootings actually happened over the weekend, even involving a minor. What we know so far, that individual was shot on Saturday and taken to a hospital in Macon. Shortly after that, a drive-by shooting was reported on Minton Street. Then again, on Monday, another drive-by shooting on Haverson Walker Road. Tonight at 11 on ABC 16, more on this story. Plus, questions swirl after community members are upset after the leave of a police chief and his assistant. Reporting live in Gordon, Gloria Ruth Finney, WGXA News.
All right, great job, and thank you, Gloria Ruth. Rap music video. It's at the center of a Houston County murder case. Morgan Baker filed an appeal after being convicted in the shooting death of Tamarco Head outside a nightclub in 2019. Now, Baker claims the court made an error in allowing a music video of him holding a gun, arguing it doesn't establish him being at the shooting and unfairly sways the jury's perception on the case. The state argues, though, the video is important to their theory of Baker's guilt in the crime. A hearing will take place next Wednesday. A teen is facing jail time after being arrested for an armed robbery at a quick stop in Lawrence County. Deputies say a masked Christian Newsome walked into the store holding a gun and demanding money. The clerk handed over $2,000 before Newsome ran off. Deputies searched the area and found Newsome, who matched the clerk's description, and discovered the stolen money and the gun used in the robbery. Investigators say Newsome also robbed the Amba Food Mart the night before. The Georgia Department of Corrections says it's investigating 2 separate inmate deaths inside Central Georgia State Prisons. Authorities say that Garland Pittman killed his roommate at Macon State Prison on August the 10th. He's been charged with murder. The other case under investigation is at Hancock State Prison. Authorities say they believe that August 12th death is a homicide, but they say they're awaiting autopsy results. The victim's name in that case has not yet been released. Bibb deputies say they made an arrest in a murder case from last year, and we're learning more about it tonight. According to the arrest warrant, Jaleel Parker was dating a transgender woman, Destin Howard, and was paying Howard to keep their relationship a secret. Parker's being charged with shooting and killing Howard. Howard's body was discovered in the parking lot of a business on Thomaston Road last December, but it took authorities a few days to discover her identity. Also tonight, homicide numbers are down in Bibb County compared to last year. The district attorney's office says there's a 33% drop in homicide rates for the current year. There were 43 reported homicides at this time last year, and right now Bibb County has 29 homicides so far in 2023. Well, former President Donald Trump is expected to surrender for booking in Fulton County, Georgia next week. The negotiations are still underway with the district attorney's office. Meanwhile, Trump's attorneys are trying to have the state charges filed against him in Georgia moved to a federal court. Trump and 18 other defendants also must turn themselves in for booking at the Fulton County Jail before the August 25th deadline. They're accused of taking part in a broad criminal conspiracy to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election results. Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, has already filed court paperwork pushing to have his case moved to district court. Moving the case to federal court offers several advantages for Trump and his co-defendants. Chief among them, it would delay the process. DA Willis says she hopes to bring the case to trial next March, right in the middle of campaign season. Also, cameras are not allowed in federal courtrooms. Now, legal experts speculate that Trump and Meadows could make better in the case if federal court takes their case than in the after 2020 election, where they could claim it was part of their official duties. Now, if former President Trump is convicted in the Georgia case and wants a pardon, it would not be easy. Trump can dispute the 2 federal cases against him if he wins the 2024 election, either by ordering his DOJ to dismiss them or by pardoning himself. The latter would face legal challenges, but unlike most states, the power to pardon in the Peach State is up to a 5-member panel, not a governor. The board considers such applications beginning 5 years after a person has completed his or her sentence. Purported names, photos, and addresses of Fulton County grand jurors in Trump's case are circulating on the far-right internet. Experts say some anonymous users are calling for violence against the jurors. The names are being circulated on these far-right-wing sites, and they appear to match the names of at least 13 of the 26 grand jurors that served on the panel. It's not clear if those are the actual grand jurors or just people with the same names. Some of the addresses, though, appear to be wrong.
A big night for Middle Georgia. High school football is starting up once again. The game tonight, the first game against Southwest versus Howard, and that's starting at 7:30 at the Eddie Ford Sports Complex. We're still a few hours away from the game start, but the players are already starting to warm up. The music is starting to play. The buses have arrived, so it's going to be a pretty spectacular night, weather-wise, especially for August standards. Satellite and radar, though, showing we have a lot of clear skies over top of us. Notice some of those clouds that are moving in from Kentucky. That's a cold front that'll be pushing through most likely on Saturday morning. Not going to give us any rain, but it's going to keep the humidity in check really for the next 2 days, although the next 2 days not going to feel as nice as today. So planning out your Thursday evening, coming out to the football game, anything, grab the sunglasses as the sun begins to set. 86 degrees at 7 o'clock under very clear skies. Temperatures should cool down pretty cool and rapidly. Yesterday, or this morning, we got down to 65. I think tonight we'll have the coolest night in over 2 months, going for a low of 62 degrees in Macon with that diminishing wind and under clear skies. So tomorrow morning, waking up, you may notice a little bit more of that chill in the air, but things will still heat up nicely like today. Feels like temperatures currently at 91 in Macon and Warner Robins, pretty seasonable. Feels like 91 in Milledgeville, 89 in Hawkinsville. It feels like 90 degrees right now in Mount Vernon. So planning out your weekend, though, the humidity will begin to tick up. On Saturday, it's warm. The humidity will be rising throughout the day up to 96 degrees. Sunday, with that humidity more uncomfortable, we could see an isolated shower or two up to 97 degrees, but the feels like temperature will be back up into the triple digits starting for the second half of the weekend. So the next 2 days in the mid to upper 90s for the feels like temps. Still not too bad, but not as nice as today. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we're all up near 102 or so. Not going to have any of that dangerous heat, but back up into more of that sticky air mass over top of us, unfortunately. For tomorrow night for the football games as well, another great night like tonight. Mostly sunny at the kickoff, 89 degrees. Halftime will be pretty comfortable, 86, and by the final play, we still will have mostly clear skies for the games again tomorrow. A lot of football to look forward to for the next few Fridays. And in your 10-day forecast for your day tomorrow, the humidity stays in check, bright sunshine up to 96 degrees. Saturday, it's warm. The humidity will be rising through the day up to 96. Sunday, the humidity more unsettled and sticky, so we could have an isolated shower around 97 degrees. Monday, back up feeling like 101. Tuesday, though, very hot up to 99 degrees. And Wednesday, I think we have a pretty good shot at actually hitting 100 degrees for the air temperature. Very hot. And next Thursday, we're still hot with temperatures up in the upper 90s. So lastly, here's your Harrison's Body Shop Fishing Game forecast. Peaks at 4 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Thank you so much, Ryan. To consumer news, no relief is in sight for house hunters. Now, the rate on a 30-year mortgage went up 7.1% this week to a high reached last year. Economists believe it could hit 8% with another round of rate hikes. While rates are up, the economy is doing better, a point that President Biden is trying to sell to Americans.
We have more to do, but inflation is now the lowest point it's been in 2 years. It's lowest among the world's leading economies. Take every major economy in the world. We have the lowest inflation rate. At the same time, wages are growing faster than inflation.
Now, even so, you'd have to go back to 2001 to see mortgage rates eclipse 7%. Analysts say the economy is showing signs of cooling. That means the Fed's interest rates could begin moving downward, which would then move mortgage rates down. There's another option for $35 per month insulin. Amazon Pharmacy is the latest to join the price range, joining the likes of products from manufacturers including Novo, Nordisk, Eli Lilly, and others. The significant price drop comes after the Inflation Reduction Act capped Medicare insulin products at $35 each month. Some offer discounts at $25 or free to diabetics who qualify. WGXA is proud to help Middle Georgia families struggling with diaper access this summer. As a part of our local Sinclair Cares initiative, we are hosting our summer diaper drive to help out local families. You can help make a difference by scanning the QR code on your screen to make a financial donation, or you can head to one of the 7 donation bins found at Kroger locations across Middle Georgia and Vineville Baptist Church to drop off diapers. All proceeds will stay local and benefit the Colby Center right here in Macon.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I am Gary Thigpen. I'm again here today at the Jones County Animal Services in Jones County. And again, I'm joined today with Jennifer and Jacqueline. And guess who we have today that we're going to tell you about?
Yes, today we have Athena. She's an Old English Bulldog. She's around 3 years of age. She's been here the longest, so she's our longest resident.
We got to find her a good home.
She loves to play with her food and water bowl. Loves to give kisses. She's super sweet and would love to find her new forever home.
So let's go ahead. Look at this beautiful girl. How could you not just look at Athena and not want to just come down and get her right now? So Jennifer, if someone would like to give Athena a good home, how would they do that?
Come to the office located at 1015 Monticello Highway, and we will get you all set up for her new home.
All right, let's take care of that today. Let's find this sweet baby a really good home. She deserves it. She's been the longest resident here, and she's ready to get out of here and find a good home.
Well, for some of us, every day is a good day for bargain shopping, but Thursday presents an extra reason to go deal hunting because it's National Thrift Shop Day. It's observed each year on August 17th. Thrift shops are known by many names: secondhand stores, charity shops, resale stores. They're frequently operated by charitable organizations and sell gently used items. But as any thrift store shopper knows, some of those items donated can be real gems. It's a three-way win. You get a great deal, the store gets help with its charitable mission, and the environment benefits by having fewer items in landfills. So if you need an excuse to go bargain hunting, here it is on a silver platter, maybe perhaps a used one. And you know, my friend Higgins and I, we love a good thrift shop. And in fact, he's told me about several here in Macon. And what I love to go and do is look at the ties. I've found some wonderful ties from thrift shops. So it's really cool to do that, and other stuff too. It's really good. And like they said, the money goes for a good cause. Well, that's going to do it for WGXA News at 5:30. We invite you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also invite you to join us at 6 right now on ABC 16. We wish you a very good night, Middle Georgia.